I have worked with hundreds of reactive dogs over the years, and after having helped so many dog owners fix their dog's reactivity, I have identified the 5 most common reasons why you are likely giving your dog reactivity on a day-to-day basis. So if you want to solve it, stick around, make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the video. The first reason why your dog is reactive, and this is applicable to 95% of dog owners with a reactive dog, and that is poor leash manners. If you put your dog on a leash and take them outside and they are leading you around on a walk, they are pulling you, they are going wherever they want to go, no matter what you say, your dog is used to making decisions. And then the second that we get near another dog or whatever their trigger is, they are still in that mindset that they get to choose wherever they're going. And of course, when we hold them back, they're going to explode. It is going to be frustrating. Imagine if I let you go wherever you wanted in your life, and then suddenly I just held you back with a leash and said, you can't do this, even though there's $1 million sitting right there. You would get frustrated. And that's what we're doing to our dogs. And so alternatively, what I would much rather do is give our dogs a ton of structure on a walk. Tell our dog that we are the leader, we are in charge, and when you're paying attention to me, great things are happening. But the second that you start to make the family decisions when we are out on a walk, that is where nothing good happens. And when we start teaching our dog to do this, they start to pay attention to us a lot more and follow our lead, and they don't feel the need to make these family decisions. And if you want to teach your dog how to loose leash walk, I have a ton of videos on YouTube. I also have an online course that you can check that out. But let's get on to the second one. Let's get on to number 2. And number 2 is unclear expectations. Most of the time, this refers to allowing our dog to greet other dogs when we are out on a walk. And that's unfair to your dog. What you should actually be doing is allowing your dog to say hi to every single dog they see, which is most likely not very practical, or allow your dog to meet nobody on a leash. On leash, if we set the expectation with our dog that they get to say hi to every dog. If they say hi to dog 1, dog 2, dog 3 on a walk, but then we get to dog 4 and the owner doesn't want to say hi, or the dog is aggressive and we don't let the dog say hi, this comes back to proper leash manners. This is going to build frustration because our dog is so used to saying hi to these other dogs. We hold them back, they can't say hi, and it spirals out of control over time. And if this is one of the things that you struggle with, and most owners do, I'd be willing to bet that the reactivity built up over a course of time, whether it be 2 weeks or 2 months or 2 years, and it got worse and worse and worse. And the more we hold our dog back and give them the frustration of not being allowed to say hi, but they want to make the family decisions and say hi to other dogs, the more we do that, the more frustration it builds. The symptoms of the reactivity get worse and worse over time, and it might show now that your dog, you might think your dog is aggressive and wants to bite these dogs, but really what it is a development of the frustration over time that shows issues. So what I would highly recommend you do is set the expectation that when we are out on a walk, when we are on a leash, we just don't greet other dogs, because greeting other dogs doesn't really help anyone. It doesn't give our dog fulfillment. It doesn't really give them any structure. It's cute and all, but let's save the leash greetings or the greetings with other dogs for when we're off leash and not when we're on leash. Third reason why your dog is reactive is anxiety and or fear. When your dog is anxious or fearful, what owners will frequently do is try to avoid the triggers, avoid the things that cause our dog anxiety. And if another dog is the cause of the anxiety or fear, owners will step away and try to stay away from other dogs, when alternatively what we should be doing is trying to communicate with our dog that these triggers, these things that cause you anxiety, are not that bad. It should be a totally normal thing for us to walk down the street and pass other dogs, and us as owners need to communicate that with our dog. And instead of avoiding our triggers, we should actually bring our dog into the triggers, and that involves using proper leash pressure and communicating good behaviors from bad behaviors. And when we do that, we step up as a leader. If we get into a situation where there's another dog passing by and we see our dog working up and building up, the solution is to communicate with a dog that that is not the right behavior. Just calm down. get them to stop what they're doing, get their attention. That could involve using the proper tools. Then once they are calm, we can reinforce these desired behaviors. It sounds really simple, and it is actually probably more simple than you might think, but just guiding our dog on what is a good behavior and what is a bad behavior, and that will continue to reinforce the leadership that we have and reduce the anxiety and the fear and the stress that a dog has from seeing other dogs out and about. The fourth reason why your dog is reactive is a lack of fulfillment. If you think about dogs, what do dogs do in the wild? They are likely doing one of three things. They are either sleeping, hunting, or eating. Then we domesticate these animals and try to get them to live our domesticated life as humans, and we have to communicate with dogs how they understand things. Dogs don't understand these sentences and these elaborate ways that we as humans live. And it's important that we give our dog the fulfillment that they need. And so one part of fulfillment is your dog getting enough sleep. Adult dogs should be getting at least 14 hours of sleep. If your dog isn't getting 14 hours of sleep and they are reactive, I'd be willing to bet part of their reactivity at least is because they are sleep deprived. Another part is we need to allow our dog to run around and have fun and live a life like a dog in the wild would. If our dog sits in our living room all day and their only exercise and the only time they get outside is when you go on 1 or 2 or maybe 3 walks a day and they walk a mile or 2, that is not a fulfilled dog. If you took a wild animal and did that to them, they would be very unhappy. And so giving our dog the fulfillment that they need, off-leash training your dog or bringing your dog into an environment that we can let them off leash, a fenced in area, a fenced in backyard, whatever it is, and playing with them, giving them structured play, playing fetch, toys, having them run around and really bringing out their instincts of being an animal. That will significantly help your dog's happiness in life, but also their reactivity, because a reactive dog is most commonly an unfulfilled dog. And so when you're thinking about this, I just highly encourage you to be very conscious of, is this something that I think is gonna make my dog happy, or is this something that is going to make my dog, this domesticated animal, happy? It's important that we think about the difference between that and give our dog what they need as a dog. The fifth and final reason why your dog is likely reactive is poor or undesired genetics. And I don't want to say just poor genetics, because sometimes it's just undesired genetics. For example, if you take a high-strung working line police dog that was bred to be a police dog and you put them in a normal average Joe family household that takes their dog for 2 walks a day, that dog is going to have some serious behavioral problems, because they are bred to be high-strung and working and constantly just doing something with high energy. But for the average Joe, it's probably not a dog that we want. And some dogs just come out a lot more high-strung, and those are dogs that we just need to give a lot more leadership and fulfillment to, and give a lot of structure. We have to give them an outlet to get their energy out. Run around off-leash in a safe manner, whether they have a perfect recollar or e-collar trained or in a controlled environment like a fenced-in yard. And if we don't do that, it's like drinking 5 Red Bulls and locking that person in a room and closing the door. Their head's gonna explode. And that's really, with dogs that have those working line genetics, that's what we're doing with dogs. And we need to, with a dog like that, just give them a ton more fulfillment and structure and get their energy out in a positive outlet so their energy doesn't come out in a negative outlet. I appreciate you making it all the way through to the end of the video. And if you did, you are a dog owner that cares and wants to make a difference in your life. And I am here to help you along the entire journey. I have a ton of resources for you, but at the very least, feel free to leave a comment below on what you're struggling with and how your progress is going. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next one.